Hello, fellow food lovers. Today I will be making deep fried tofu and baby bok choy stir fry. This is a vegan dish. You will need 1 block of firm tofu and 8 pieces of baby bok choy. For the sauce, you're going to need 1 teaspoon sesame oil, 1 tablespoon soy sauce, and 1 tablespoon of vegetarian oyster sauce, along with 1 tablespoon minced ginger and 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. Okay, so I have a little knob of ginger. I like to peel the skin off and cut the ends off before I mince it. You can either mince the ginger or julienne it. If you julienne, make it a fine julienne. So this is a vegan dish. There's no meat, eggs, or milk in this dish. We use vegetarian oyster sauce. It has the flavor of oysters, but it doesn't actually contain oysters. It's actually made from mushrooms. As well as soy sauce, which is obviously vegan. Okay, so I'm going to grab 8 pieces of baby bok choy. This is called Shanghai bok choy, which is a bit more greener than the standard bok choy. So we have 8 of them. We're going to actually split them down the middle and cut them in half. So there'll actually be like 16 pieces. Yeah, split them down the half to make 2 pieces. Okay, we're going to give them a good rinse, make sure that all the dirt's washed out of them. Bok choy tends to be quite clean anyways, but it's good to give it a rinse. And then I have 1 block of firm tofu that I've cut into tiles, about that size. So to do that, you cut the block in half, and then you cut in the other direction about 4 times to make about 10 pieces. Okay, I have the wok filled with oil up to half full, and it's on high heat. So when you test to see if it's hot enough, you can use a wooden chopstick, and if you dip it into the oil, if it bubbles, then it's hot enough to deep fry. Okay, I'm going to just slide the tofu along the side of the wok into the oil. Never drop the tofu directly above, otherwise it'll splash. The tofu will take about 5-6 minutes to brown before it's ready. About halfway through, maybe 3-4 minutes in, you want to turn the tofu over, because the oil that's closest towards the element on the bottom side tends to be hotter, so the tofu will brown sooner on one side than the other, so you have to make sure you turn it over. Okay, I'm putting a plate aside, and I'm going to put some paper towels on it so I can drain the oil from the tofu when it's done. Yeah, so for 1 block of tofu, you want to have about 10 pieces that are tile shaped. Okay, so the tofu is finished. I took it out and I placed it on the paper towel using a slotted spoon. And then now I'm going to cook the bok choy. So I put about 2 tablespoons of cooking oil into the hot wok, and then I added the ginger. And the ginger, when you have to fry that as a first, because it flavors the oil before you put everything else in. So it gives the sauce a kind of a ginger flavor. Okay, in it goes the bok choy. Yeah, so you want to cook the ginger for maybe 30 seconds, not more than that. You don't want the ginger to burn, that would be a bad thing. It should still be kind of a golden color when you throw everything else in. So for a stir fry, you want to kind of move the veggies around, flip it over upside down, move everything from the bottom to the top. Okay, so a few minutes have passed by, and the leaves have wilted a little, and it's changed color a bit. It's cooked now. It's about 50% cooked. So I'm adding a cup of water to make the sauce. Just wait for that to come to a boil, and then I'm going to add the seasoning. Yeah, so this is a good dish to make if you have any vegan friends coming over for dinner. Okay, I'm going to put a teaspoon of sesame oil in. Uh, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. And 1 tablespoon of the vegetarian oyster sauce. So again, this is called vegetarian oyster sauce. It doesn't have any oyster in it. It's made from mushroom, but it has the taste of oyster sauce. Yeah. That meatiness of the sauce comes from the mushroom. Yeah, so we added a tablespoon of that. So you want to stir it around, make sure the sauce is mixed in with the water. And I'm going to put the lid over top of the wok just to help finish off the vegetables, steaming it. So we probably have the lid on for 2-3 minutes. That's all you really need. Okay, so while that's cooking, we're going to make the cornstarch slurry to thicken the sauce with. So we're going to put 1 tablespoon of cornstarch into a bowl, 1 heaping tablespoon. Then we're going to add 1/4 cup of water to that. And give that a stir, make sure everything's all dissolved. Okay, so about 2-3 minutes has passed. The bok choy is pretty much cooked now. So I took the lid off. We're going to add the cornstarch slurry, thicken up the sauce before we toss in the tofu. So this is a fairly complete dish. It's got the protein from the tofu and it's got the vegetables as well. So it's a really good one dish meal for vegetarians and vegans. Okay, so stir that around, make sure the cornstarch is mixed in with the sauce. And then we're going to add the tofu to that. Notice the tofu is a golden brown. That's the color you want when you're finished deep frying it. Okay, turn the heat off. Gonna grab a serving plate and transfer it over. It's a very simple but elegant dish. The crunchiness of the tofu goes really well with the softness of the bok choy. Okay, there you have it. Bon appetit.